If you're looking to improve in Counter-Strike, I have some simple tips that you guys need to follow. Either you're a new player or maybe you're someone that is in a slump. These are some pretty core things that you guys need to do to keep improving in Counter-Strike, especially if you feel like you've hit a wall. These are tips that every single pro does as well. So if you are looking to get an inside scoop on how pros improve daily, this is definitely a video you guys should watch. But before I get into those tips, make sure you guys check out the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a CS2 skins trading site and marketplace that provides an instant way to get new skins. My favorite thing about SkinsMonkey is that I can trade skins that I no longer want and trade it for a skin that is equal value. If you use code LouisCS2, you get a $5 bonus on your first trade. If you want to buy skins, you can get a 30% deposit bonus plus an extra 5% using my code. The link is down in the description. So the first tip I have for you guys is that you need to watch demos. If you guys don't know how to watch demos, I actually made a video on it a long time ago. In one of my videos on, I think it was how to improve in Counter-Strike, I made another video just like this. And you go on hltv.org. There's a lot of demos on there that you guys can go and watch. There's, all the way from tier 1 all the way to almost like tier 3. So you can watch pretty much anyone you want. But my biggest advice is to just find a favorite player. Like for example, when I was coming up in the scene, I always watched Hobbit and Electronic because I felt that those guys kind of matched my play style and I was big fans of them as well. So I kind of just adopted to things that they did in the positions that they played because I just, again, felt like it fit my play style as well. And since I was a fan, I might as well just play where they're playing on the map and try to mimic what they're doing. And that's pretty much the best thing that you can do if you are a newer player. But if you're someone that's, maybe like mid-rank, maybe you're playing face at around level 8, it's really good to find the meta. You're watching demos to understand how teams are playing rounds. Like for example, when CS2 came out early on, a lot of teams started throwing this new top mid smoke. And this was really different because a lot of players that don't study the game, they didn't understand that this smoke was actually better in CS2 because a lot of the times they would come here and throw the old top mid smoke, which was a lot worse since these teams, especially like someone in CT, will be able to see you cross over to mid and people still throw this top mid smokes in my high level 10 pugs at like 3000 elo. So I actually get free kills here a lot, especially if I come in op con. I can just hold these guys crossing to the box and they still don't obviously understand the meta because they're throwing this old top mid smoke. So it's really important to keep up with that part of the game as well because there's also new, market window smokes for B. There's all these new lineups that you guys can learn as well. Like for the new A smokes, there's these new lineups so your stair smoke isn't drooping. I see a lot of times where these people don't understand the meta. Like there's so many times where, people are like, yeah, we can throw A smokes and they're sitting here lining up the old stair smoke, which just doesn't make sense. And I actually understand why they're losing because they don't really understand the meta of the game. Another example, if you guys do watch demos, especially on Mirage, is that teams rarely smoke CT. They like to smoke right side. And the reason they don't smoke CT is so they can take spawn because there's always a second phase to a site take. And if you guys actually study up on demos and try to understand how teams are executing sites, you'll actually understand this. And then if a team does smoke spawn, they'll always have a second phase where they might go into taking, smoking top con, mauling jungle, and taking this side of the map. There's so many different things you can take from demos that you can actually improve you with just game sense. If you want to learn some cool little gimmicks that can win you some rounds, like for example, when teams are smoking this top mid smoke, sometimes they're going to boost over this to see into con like this, which I think is really cool. Or they'll scoot over and boost over to see window, which I think is also cool. A cool little gimmick that can win you rounds. So watching demos is definitely a high priority if you're either a new player or maybe you just feel like you've hit this wall and you can't win. You can take so many ideas just from watching other people play. So the second tip is pretty much for any level that you are in Counter-Strike. This one's very important, and it is crosshair placement. Now, I'll give you an example. If you guys do watch my stream on Twitch, I'm live Monday through Friday around 10 a.m. Eastern. There is this little thing that I do on Mirage is that I get a P250 and I come out A and I usually get 3 kills, which is actually pretty insane. But it's all because I've worked on this crosshair placement so much that I'm just guaranteed these kills. You'll always see me again on my stream. I have so many clips of this where I just swing out, I kill this ticket guy, and then I have this most perfect crosshair placement where I'm killing this guy in jungle or I'm killing this guy in con, and it almost looks like it's just as smooth as butter for me because this crosshair placement is just so installed into my brain, and it's really important that you guys work on this as well. There's a lot of pre-fire maps out there. I made some videos on those as well that you guys can go and check out, but crosshair placement can save you so much time because Counter-Strike is all about time to kill. And the faster you can kill, obviously the faster you're going to win the duel and the more likely you're going to win the round. So it's very important that you have good crosshair placement, especially if you guys want a dry swing window. See how my crosshair is literally right on this guy if he's just sitting here crouched. Realistically, no one's actually going to sit here standing up. They're always going to be crouched because they think this wood is, you know, somehow protecting them. They're always going to be here. It's always important to understand where to put your crosshair to guarantee that easy kill. Now, like I said, you can work on going into pre-fire maps if you want. The 5e, I've made videos on those. You guys can go check them out. The 5e pre-fire maps are really, really good. Or you have, you know, refrag if you pay for that. If you don't want to play on a workshop map, you can just come in a server and just move around your crosshair. I've talked about having an anchor point right here on your hand, so it's a lot easier to move your crosshair left to right. Having an anchor point down on your mouse pad is really important because it's going to make sure that you can keep that straight line, and instead of holding maybe like a claw grip or something like this, it's going to be a lot more shaky and less stable. So you want to make sure that you are keeping that stable. If you do have a higher sensitivity, it will be a lot harder to just, you know, obviously be able to move very well just left to right. Now, if you have a slower one, it's going to be a lot easier if you're someone like Twist. But if you watch someone like Simple, he's always going to be running around, you know, kind of looking at the floor and then just flicking up and killing him because obviously he has high sensitivity. So mastering the crosshair placement can be different for a lot of players, but if I were you guys, I would just use like a mid or lower sensitivity to make sure that you guys can understand moving your crosshair left to right to make sure it is stable, and then just kind of understand where to put your crosshair in situations. Like I've said, I've had some nerdy lineups when I've anchored sites on where to put crosshairs, like especially on Vertigo on B site. I've had some nasty lineups just for a good crosshair placement, so when they are walking up the stairs, I can just instant headshot them. So if you guys do struggle to put your crosshair somewhere, it is very, you know, it's very good to just understand remembering on the map. Like for example, for this part right here, maybe, you know, the perfect crosshair placement is just the bottom right of this poster, so when they do swing, you can just get, you know, easy headshot and win the round. This guy tries to peek you, he gets insta killed. That's just something that you guys can do. But if you are struggling with performance or maybe consistency, I would definitely try to work on your crosshair placement. So the last tip, which is very important, this is working on your mentality. There's so many times when I hop in games where people are just, you know, super toxic, or maybe they just, you know, we lose some dumb round and they just throw the rest of the game by force buying, which I think is very, very cringe. You guys need to be able to have a strong mentality to, you know, overcome some of these dumb rounds. Like if the T-smoke top mid and this guy just flashes through like this and just runs out mid and kills me in con, and my window player doesn't say like, oh yeah, they get sprint con, like obviously I'm going to be a little mad, which is, you know, totally understandable, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I just have to be more aware that my window player isn't going to calm as much, but I can also politely tell him that he needs to communicate to me. And if he obviously decides that he doesn't want to, because some people are just weak mentally like that, you can just obviously just take a mental note of it and move on to the next round, and just be aware that obviously they can be aggressive con without your window player knowing what is happening. So if you guys do work on your mentality, I think you guys will improve a lot easier, especially if you do understand that this is obviously just a video game and that you need to have fun playing this video game. A lot of people literally get on the game and they just say like, oh, I hate this. Like so many times I see in chat, like, I hate this game, you know, this game sucks. If you don't enjoy this game and you have those thoughts, you're obviously not going to win and you're not going to have fun. Maybe you need to go download, you know, download Minecraft or go play some Fortnite or something, right? Like switch it up. Don't force yourself to play this game if you're not having fun, because if you're not having fun, it's going to ruin it for so many other people that actually enjoy this game, like myself. Like when I go on a pug, I've actually had some really good teammates recently, and I appreciate all you guys if you watch my videos. I appreciate your guys' vibes. You know, like the other day, it was actually last night, there was a guy, we were on Mirage, and he was like, started out like 0-7, and he was like, hey guys, like, I'm sorry, you know, maybe I shouldn't play A, let me go B. And the very next round, you know, me and my Q, we were hyping him up, and these guys actually sprinted out A, and he just got a insane 3K and won us the round. We actually won the half because their economy was broken after that, and it was pretty insane. But you guys just need to be good teammates as well, just like how we were with this guy. Even if you start out 0-7 and someone's on your team, it doesn't really matter. They can still have some sort of impact, and you want to make sure they know that, you know, you kind of understand, because I think everyone that is watching this video has definitely started out, you know, 0-7 or maybe even like 0-10. I know I've had some games where I've had like 1 kill half, so it definitely does happen. So if you guys just change your mentality up, you will definitely improve and start winning more, especially if you change your mentality towards your training as well, because obviously it takes time to get good. But that's all the tips I have for you guys, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.